Guys, welcome to my channel. This is Akash. Today again I'm back with one question I posted on LinkedIn 4 hours back. So the question is quite simple one: precision, recall and F1 score, what's the difference? But in interviews, when you are asked this, you need to explain what they mean from business perspective. So let's directly jump to the formula. Yeah. So hope you all can see the screen, and how it works is 1 minute. Yeah. So we suppose we have a binary class prediction. This formula can be extended to n class prediction as well, but here we have only two class 0 and 1. So this kind of information, this kind of calculations are applicable most of the time when we have imbalanced class, meaning lots of classes are 0 max majority and ones are in minority. Okay, so in that kind of scenario, we would like to see the main focus is on this positive class. Okay, so we suppose we want to identify whether a person is having a disease or not, whether a person is COVID positive. Okay, so this kind of scenario where most of them are negative, but few of them are positive. Okay, so in that scenario, we have this. So suppose if we draw this confusion matrix of actual is 0 and this is 1, prediction is 0 and this is 1. So these terms we have true negative. So we are telling it's a negative class and actually it's a negative class. So true negative, false positive. We are telling it's a positive class, but actually it's a negative class. Negative class means 0. Then it's a false, right? False positive. Similarly, this false negative, we are telling prediction is 0. We are telling it's a negative, but actually it's positive. So it's a false positive. Here again, we are telling it's a positive class, and again it's actually also a positive class. So it's a true positive. So formula wise, precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. Okay, so this part summation, this true positive divided by this part, and recall is true positive divided by this part. So one thing you can see, this true positive is common in both the formula. So that's the focus. So true positive is the star of the game right now. So what we try to identify, so in one of my interviews, I was asked, like, suppose if your use case is to predict whether this person is COVID positive or not, which metric would you use? So, so the metric varies based on use case to use case. So in this particular use case, the most important metric would be recall. Recall why? So in recall, I am checking how well my model is able to identify uh, someone, like in this COVID case, if someone is actually COVID positive, then we should tell that yes, it is a we should be my model should be able to predict that properly. If it is not able to do that, then it's a bad model. So in this case, we will try to improve the recall of my model. Okay, so recall generally means that if my model is if something is in positive class, how many times is actually is positive class, in how many times the model is able to actually predict that it is a positive. Means recall means remember. So that kind of thing I used to memorize these things. So how many times, given that we know it's actually a positive class, how many times my model is recalling it, it's a positive class. Okay. Similarly, for precision, whenever it's telling it's a positive class, see this one. So this whole row, I'm telling this is a positive class. How many times I'm telling, I'm correctly able to classify it's a true positive. So true, if suppose true positive is a 30, okay, false positive is 0. So my precision will become 30 by 30 equal to 1, right? So this is the highest score. So we so in certain scenarios we want our precision to be high, not the recall. Like suppose there is a recruiter who wants to identify the perfect candidate. Okay, so the HR cannot. If HR has built a model to identify the perfect candidate, then he will expect that the model, whenever he's telling that some candidate is a perfect candidate, then it should be perfect candidate. In that case, precision becomes a strong metric. uh, why? Because suppose somebody is not a perfect candidate, and suppose somebody is a perfect candidate but he's treating as a not perfect, like zero, then it's not a problem. We are obviously, there's a problem. We obviously want a very good model where precision and recall both are high, but that is not possible always. So in this case, we want, okay, no problem, whenever it is telling, my model is telling it is he is a perfect candidate, then he should be a perfect candidate. So in that scenario, we want precision to be high. We can compromise on recall in this scenario. So in COVID scenario, if somebody is not having COVID, if but still it is telling it's he's having COVID, then it's not a problem for us, because uh, anyway he if he's not having COVID, he will be treated. But if somebody is having COVID actually, but he is treated like he's model is telling he's not having COVID, then that's a problem. So in that case, we want to reduce our false negative, right? So we want to make the recall high and reduce the false negative. If we reduce the false negative, my recall will go high. Similarly, in precision, we want the false positive to be low and the precision to be high. So this kind of scenario we have. So it's a kind of, I gave you the both business understanding of precision and recall. And yeah, F1 score, one more very important metric. So this score is like, we don't have, in these are used in scenario, we don't have a particular choice of a metric, either precision or recall. We tell whichever, we want both to be high. Okay, so in that scenario, we will tell that, okay, take the harmonic mean of precision and recall. The harmonic mean formula is this one, and finally it will come like this. So what F1 score does, like instead of taking just simple mean, it is harmonic mean. Why you are taking? Because harmonic mean has a property where if suppose precision is very high but recall is low, then F1 score will also be low. Okay, so F1 score will be high only and only with when both precision and recall both are high. Any one of them is high, it will be penalized by some other, like other which is low. Okay, so for to get a metric, so it's not something very like strong mm, business metric, but yeah, when but it will give you a number which will be high only and only when both precision and recall are high. If any one of them is low, it will give you a low score. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying. Bye bye.